Hello guys, welcome back. This tutorial is going to be for the switch statement, a bit more information about switch statements. And in the last tutorial we learned about if-else statements and stuff. So in this tutorial we're going to learn about the switch statements. Alright, it's just to be sure. Alright, so text editor and open my max.java and alright, and last time we had this trouble, this thing. So that I know what was that because the else if was what was happening last time is that the if value 1 was greater than or equal to value 2, then it will enter this. But if this would go wrong, if this was false, then it would just go out of the loop and it won't continue. So we don't need the else if, we just need the if blocks. So alright, so this worked fine, but here we don't have any sort of control over whether to say maximum or the minimum. So how about we give this control to the user, so that the user will enter all three values and the user will then decide whether to view the largest one or to view the smallest one. So let's do it this way. Let's introduce a third variable, int control, and the control variable will decide whether to do the largest or the smallest. So the control variable is 0, that means the program is supposed to return the smallest number, or if the control variable is 1, then the program will display the largest number. So the traditional way to do this is by using the if statement. If control is 0, then do the largest one, and if control is 1, then do the smallest one. But to get more code efficiency, we will use the switch statement. Okay, so let's just first of all get the inputs ready here. So 3. Control, sorry. Alright, control is integer portion. Okay, alright. Now first of all we need to use the switch statement. So the switch statement will go inside this because we first need to check if they are not 0 or something. And the switch statement has a syntax like switch, then bracket, and inside the variable that you want to switch over time, or their values inside it. So control is the variable that you want to switch, and then bracket as usual. And inside the switch statement we have cases: case 1, case 2, case 3. So what case is that in case the control is 1, then do this. In case the control is 2, do this. In case the control is 3, in case the value inside control is 3, then do this. So the cases for that. So let's begin by making our first case. Let's just make it a bit tidy here. And case. So CASE case, and then the value. So if the control is 1, then colon, and then do this. So if the case is 0, then we need to display the smallest one. So we need some sort of method here to display the smallest one. Right now we're not going to waste time in it, so here's the system. The print line, view we've chosen to display the smallest number. Right. Alright, let's just get rid of all of this. Oh no, let's just keep it. Then we need to break it. So what break does is that after this case is over, we will break it. Breaking means that you're gonna exit the switch statement after that. So break. So the break simply does is that it indicates the end of the process. So yeah, so that's the thing in break. So let's just make our second case, case 1. Print line youth chosen to display largest number. And let's just get rid of all of this crap. We don't need it right now at this moment. So let's just comment it out. I don't want to ruin anything actually. So alright. So what we're doing here is we're, in case the value of control is 0, then print out the thing that you've chosen to display the smallest number, and then get out of the switch statement. In case the value is 1, then you've chosen the display that you've chosen to display the largest number, and then break. And in the default, then we have another case like default. What default is that the code inside the default will get executed if all of the above cases fall to be false. So if the value's control is not 0, if the value's control is not 1, then it's gonna run the code inside the default block. So let's just write down system.out.println. You chosen wrong number. Please enter 1 or 0. Okay. And after default, you don't need to break if you don't have any case segment after break. But if you do, then you do need to break. But I recommend that it's always better to break after each case. So yeah. And alright, so this looks promising now. And let's just run the code. So wait a minute, let me just check. Let me just go through all of it. Value 1, value 2, value 3, control, portion. Alright, this looks good. Let's just run. Where's my terminal? Alright, let's just run this code. So javac max.java java max. I'm stupid, isn't it? And then 0 to display the smallest. You show to display the smallest number. Alright. It's just 1. You should choose to display the largest number. Right. And 3. You've chosen wrong number. Please enter 1 or 0. So this shows us that the code works. However, we programmers can have 1 at times. So let's just make a case of 2. System.out.println. You can't have both. You can't have both. And then break. And yes, in Java it's not necessary that you break after the line. You can break it here, so it just doesn't matter. So alright, so what we're doing is that I've added another case 2, and if the value in control is 2, then just print out that you can't have both, and then break out. Now let's see what will happen if we don't put break between 2 and 3. Okay, so what I want actually is that if the user is gonna type in 2, then it should display this system.out.println. It should display that you can't have both, and it should say that you've chosen wrong number. Please enter 1 or 0. Well, the traditional way to do this is by copying this and by pasting it here. That's the traditional way, but we don't want to do that. We want to do the smart coding. So in smart coding, you don't do it that way. In smart coding, what we do is just get rid of this break, because we have got default after case 2. So we can get rid of break, and now what's going to happen is, even if it encounters case 2, it's going to print this, and then it's going to continue down, and it's going to print this, and then it's going to break, obviously. So let's just see what happens if you remove break between 2 statements. So javac java max. Oh man, 12, 13, 14, 2. You can't have both your chosen wrong number, presenter 1 or 0. this works. Alright, let's test another case, another circumstance. Alright, that if you don't have break, if you don't put the brake at all, what's gonna happen? Well, in any of the case, it's gonna print everything. If it comes to case 1, then it's gonna print all lines from here. If it comes to case 2, it's gonna print these 2 lines. If it comes to case 0, it's gonna print all of them. So save it. Java max.java, and then Java max draw 13 14 0. Use chosen to display the smallest number. As I said, you chosen to you've chosen to display the smallest number. You chosen to display the largest number. You can't have both. You've chosen the wrong number. Please enter 1 or 0. Alright, let's do 1. You've chosen to display the largest number. You can't have both. Wrong number. Enter 1 or 0. Largest number. Can't have both. Wrong number. So you get the idea. So the switch statement is helpful when we know what are the expected inputs from the user. So that's why you use this switch statement, and I think that switch statements are quite useful in some ways, but till now in my projects I've never used them, to be honest. So, well, alright, so I'd like to conclude my tutorial here, and in my next tutorial we're gonna go through about some sort of methods and a bit more about how to use methods and how not to do like messy coding and stuff. And that's important as well in coding, because you can't just keep on writing lines and lines of code without knowing the actual basics of code organization and stuff. So in my next tutorial we're going to learn more about the code arrangement, and the code techniques, and mostly, more importantly, we'll learn about the methods in Java, which are the foundation for the object-oriented programming. I think it is the foundation, because a lot of time you need to access objects, and then you need the object access their own methods and stuff. So it is important as well. So next tutorial we're gonna go through about the methods and in Java, and yeah, alright. So till then, have a good one and peace.